Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all students. How are you? I hope everyone is doing well. Okay, so for today's lesson, we are still in Unit 2 and we are going to focus on grammar and vocabulary. So for the grammar part, we are going to look at past continuous and also past simple, while for the vocabulary, we are going to look at phrasal verbs, commonly confused words, and collocations and expressions. So, are you ready? Let's start. Welcome to class. Today's agenda. First, you have to watch the YouTube video on the topic of the day. And number 2, you have to complete the task in your Google Classroom. Okay, let us look at the first part, grammar. Look at these examples. Past simple. 1. Sarah lived in Connecticut. 2. In 1884, Sarah bought a small unfinished farmhouse. 3. Sarah never slept in the same bedroom 2 nights in a row. 4. They built the house over 100 years ago. 5. She left her home, went to California, bought a house and employed builders to extend it. Past continuous. The wind was blowing and the trees were swaying. 7. Mrs. Smith was brushing her teeth while her husband was putting on his pajamas. 8. Mr. and Mrs. Smith were sleeping when they heard a bell ring loudly at midnight. 9. The neighbors were getting ready for bed at 10 o'clock last night. What are the uses of these two tenses, past simple and past continuous? Do you know? What are the differences? Can you identify which are the verbs that are in past tense and past continuous? Alright, let's discuss and analyze together. Let us look at the past simple. The first use of past simple is to state something that started and finished at a stated time in the past. Okay, means we have a stated time in the past. So example, in the sentence, they built the house over 100 years ago. So here, what is the stated time in the past? It is 100 years ago. Okay, next. Past simple also is used to talk about past routines and habits. Sarah never slept in the same bedroom 2 nights in a row. So here, we know that it is a routine for Sarah did not sleep in the same bedroom for 2 nights in a row. Next, to state about situations or states which were true in the past but are no longer true. Example, Sarah lived in Connecticut. Okay, so here we can see that Sarah used to live in Connecticut, but now no more. Okay, next. Actions that happened one after the other in the past. She left home, went to California, bought a house and employed builders to extend it. So you see, the words left, went, bought, and employed are in past simple. Alright, and the last one, the use of past simple is for past actions which won't happen again. In 1884, Sarah bought a small unfinished farmhouse. Okay, let's move to past continuous. What is the rule? What is the difference between past simple and past continuous? So, for past simple, for the verb, we change to past tense. For example, we add ed, or some of the verbs are in irregular verbs. Example, go. So in past simple, it becomes went. But for past continuous, the rule is a verb to be, two verb to be, which are was for singular and were for plural, plus verb in ing form. Example. The first use of past continuous is for actions that were in progress at a stated time in the past. So the sentence, the neighbors were getting ready for bed at 10 o'clock last night. So you see, the words in red are the verbs in past continuous. Were, getting. So why were? Because neighbors are in plural form. So were, getting, get plus ing. So this is the rule for past continuous. Another use for past continuous is for two or more actions that were in progress at the same time. So there are two or more actions happen at the same time. Example, Mrs. Smith was brushing her teeth while her husband was putting her pajamas. Next one, we use past continuous for giving background information in a story. The wind was blowing and the trees were swaying. And the last use is an action that was in progress in the past was interrupted by another. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith were sleeping when they heard a bell ring loudly at midnight. So now, can you see the difference? It's time to do the activity. Head over to your Google Classroom and check the exercises. Answer all the exercises given. Here are the tips. Read the instructions and check your understanding. Look at the first sentence to get a clue which will help you to choose the correct tense. For example, at 7 o'clock yesterday. Read the rest of the sentences carefully and identify time expressions or other clues in the sentences that will help you to choose the correct tense. So please answer all the questions carefully. Try to get the best score. Don't forget, after you finish answering all the exercises, screenshot your score as a proof and hand it together with your assignment. Hi, welcome back. How did you do? I hope everything is good. Now we are in the second part of today's lesson, which is a vocabulary part. Here, we are to look at phrasal verbs, commonly confused words, and collocations and expressions. There are 3 tasks waiting for you. For the first one, phrasal verbs, you may see the phrasal verbs like lift me out, leave me behind, brought back, brought about, pass down, pass away, dug up, dug in, fell for, fell into, reading up on, and reading out. While for the second task, it is about commonly confused words like odd and rare, last and latest, shrine and power, prizes and prices, shade and shadow, affects, and effects. And last but not least, the collocations and expressions about time. We have at times, be just like old times, have the time of your life, no time like the present, time and time again, and time waits for no man. If you are not sure with the meanings of the words and phrases here, you may check in the dictionary or online dictionary. So, head over to the Google Classroom and answer all the exercises. Again, don't forget to screenshot your score and send together with the assignment. So, that's all for today's lesson. We have covered past simple, past continuous. For the grammar and for the vocabulary, we have phrasal verbs, commonly confused words, and collocations and expressions. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask your respective teachers to get the answer for your inquiry. So that's all for today. Thank you.